The question of balance in TTRPGs has always been sort of strange to me because I associated that notion more with competitive games than cooperative games. Thing is, the first editions of D&D and the overall cultural footprint of D&D were, respectively, explicitly and implicitly adversarial in how they suggest relations between players. The problem nowadays is that even though games are progressively designed to try and avoid the idea of an adversarial GM, combat is still by far the most widely mechanized way of interacting with fictional worlds. Because of that, and because of the fact that all combat systems can be simplified into a damage/HP equation where player character's input can be thought of as a variable opposed to another set of enemy variables, you run into the issue of having to balance the value of each variable so that each player feels like they're contributing more or less the same value to their side of the combat equation than their other fellow players. In short, the idea that there needs to be balance in a TTRPG is exclusive to not just games that center combat, but that mechanize it in a very specific numbers game. If, say, the mechanics for what a healer, a tanker, a ranger, etc. were radically different between one another, such that their contributions couldn't be simplified in arithmetics, or if combat itself was framed more as a ritual or rethought in a way in which the goal of it was nuanced enough to break the equation, balance would become a non-issue. In truth, the more we think of character archetypes and mechanization of player options as ideas that cannot be reduced to simple numbers, especially outside of narratives that center violence, which is in itself a way to simplify language to the point where one doesn't need to perform interpretive work to understand their interlocutor, the less relevance the idea of balance in TTRPGs will have.